Through the simple act of a boy losing his ball, the poet teaches us to accept the various losses that we must face in life. These losses include losing people to death, losing relationships because of fights or arguments, or even losing an object or a position that we had loved and valued the most in our life. Essentially, the poet talks about the losses that are irreversible. That is, losses that we must learn to accept and move on. Now let's delve into the poem. What is a boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over. There it is in the water. The poem opens with a scene where a boy is very happily playing with his ball. As he was playing, the ball bounces and goes down the street and falls into the water. The poet who observed all these starts the poem. The boy was so happily playing with the ball, and suddenly, when he least expected, his ball fell into the sea and was swept away. The poet wonders what the boy will do now, how he will recover from this loss. Now let's look at the next part. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. The poet says that the boy was filled with grief. This grief made the boy stand still like a rock. His body was trembling and his eyes were still fixed on the ball. He couldn't believe that the ball he had been happily playing with is gone forever. He sees that all the happy memories that he had with the ball has gone with it. As we read the poem further, we understand that the ball is used as a symbol for the people or things that we humans are very much attached to or very much value. So the loss of the ball in the poem is equal to the loss of someone or something that we love or value the most in our life. And the loss of these people might shake our life to the core and question ourselves what we would do without them. Now let's go to the next part of the poem. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball, is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. The poet continues saying that he is not going to intrude the boy in his grief. Through the line, the poet conveys the message that we should allow people to grieve their loss first and not interrupt them. We should be present in their grief in silence and not interrupt their grief with our words. Saying to the boy who is grieving his loss that it is nothing, you can buy another ball, is meaningless. The ball and the memories with it can never be replaced. Similarly, in life, the loss of our loved ones cannot be replaced by another. The person and the memories we had with them cannot be bought back with money. So like the boy who had lost the ball, we should learn to understand our first responsibility. And what is this responsibility? The responsibility is this. In a world where people always try to possess someone or something for themselves, there will always be loss. And no one tries to get back what is lost because they know it can't be done. Money cannot buy us everything. Money is an external thing and emotion is internal. The narrator highlights that which is internal cannot be bought with that which is external. Now let's get to the next part of the poem. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. So the boy is desperate. Why is he desperate? He wishes if there is any possibility to recover the lost ball. Just as we are desperate when we find it difficult to accept the loss of our loved ones, or loss of a relationship, or loss of something we valued the most in our life. We will be desperate to bring them back, to bring it back. Just like that, the boy is desperate. But behind the desperate eyes, the boy learns that he has to accept his loss. We can't grieve and dwell in the loss forever. We have to stand up and focus on our life and move on. This is a universal truth that every human has to know one day, and most humans know it and move on accepting the loss. Now, for an example, imagine a woman with 3 children loses her husband in an accident. It is a sudden and very unexpected event. So she will be grieving her loss. And this loss cannot be reversed. She has to accept even though it is very difficult. This is the harsh reality of life. We cannot comfort the grieving women by telling, you can marry another man. It would be senseless to suggest something like that. The woman who is now a widow, as in most cases, accepts the loss and stands up to focus on bringing up her children. If she dwells in her loss, her entire life, including her children's, will be ruined. So she learns to accept her loss like most people and strengthens her heart to make a better life for her children and herself. And this is her first responsibility after the death of her beloved one. And that's what the poem tries to convey. Thank you.